Hey everyone, Reflected here, and today I'm going to show you how to climb with the DCS AI. This has got to be one of the most frequently asked questions I've got. See, in some of my campaigns, the player flies as a wingman and has to follow an AI lead. I think flying formation on someone is fun and it keeps you busy, helps pass the time, but as soon as the AI climbs, many players are in trouble. I've already explained it all several times on the forums or in playthrough videos I've recorded, but I decided to dedicate a separate video to it, so I can just share the link easily when I see someone struggling with it. First of all, I want to clarify something. In the mission editor, I can tell the AI to climb from one altitude to the other, but I have no control over how that climb is performed. That's hard-coded in the AI. Here's a Spitfire flying at 1,000 feet, 210 knots ground speed. He's going to have to climb to 20,000 feet at 280 knots ground speed. Don't let the speeds fool you. The AI will climb at hard-coded speeds and power settings, and once it reaches the altitude of the next waypoint, so 20,000 feet, only then it's going to accelerate or decelerate to the speed set in the editor. Now let's see how the AI performs the climb. He's flying straight and level, and look at what happens as soon as he reaches the climbing waypoint. It pulls up sharp, and it chops the throttle for a split second. Once its speed bleeds to optimum climb speed, it drops the nose a little and applies power. As you can see here on the info bar, its RPM is 99%, whatever that corresponds to, around 2850, 2900 RPM in the spit. Now that you know what the AI is going to do, you can anticipate these moves, and it will be so much easier to follow. If you cannot keep up with the AI in a climb, you're probably making at least one of the following three mistakes. Number one, you're not applying enough power. Remember the AI? Apply approximately 99% RPM and sufficient boost, or manifold pressure. I've seen people try and climb with the AI at max continuous power settings. That's not gonna cut it. In the spit, you'll need 2850 to 2900 RPM and 12 to 14 boost. Number two, you're trying to climb too steeply. Keep your speed up. People see the AI pull away and they automatically pull back on the stick to climb harder. Wrong. Every aircraft has an optimum climb speed. Look it up in the pilot's notes. If you pull the nose up too high, the speed will drop below that, and you'll just be hanging on your prop, pushing air, and also overheating due to the lack of airflow through your radiators. Remember, at a given power setting, you control the airspeed with the elevators. You must resist the temptation to point your nose at your AI lead. Number three, you're not trimmed properly. You know, propeller aircraft are messed up. That big thing turning in front of you causes a lot of trouble. The thrust generated by the prop is not spread out evenly throughout the whole disc. One side will always pull harder than the other, and it will make your aircraft want to, fly sideways a little. Every time your airspeed or your power settings change, you have to adjust your rudder trim to keep your plane straight. Keep that ball or needle in the Spitfire centered. The further off center it is, the more you're just pushing air with the side of your fuselage, and it will slow you down. The other side of the fuselage will partly mask your wing, so you'll get less lift too. The AI can trim their aircraft properly. They're not side-slipping. So if you want to keep up with them, you have to keep this in mind. Also, make sure you use the elevator trim too. A well-trimmed aircraft will want to maintain that optimum climb speed hands off, rather than having to push or pull on the stick constantly. Also note that if you're too slow to react or mess things up, it will be very hard to catch up with your lead during the climb. You're going uphill at nearly full throttle already. Okay, now let me demonstrate all this in practice. See? Easy. Alright, now go get some practice and keep these 3 lessons in mind. See ya!